If you saw my last video, you might remember this clip. Because a certain other game that came out a year later decided to screw all of that up massively and continues to confuse players and outsiders to this very day. But I think that could be another video I do later this year. Well, that time has arrived, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the Burning Devotion Year of Blaze miniseries, as I share with you why I think Sonic 06 damaged Blaze's momentum. So like I said before in previous videos, Blaze was first introduced in Sonic Rush as a princess from another dimension where she protected the Soul Emeralds. With Sonic Rush only available on the Nintendo DS, a handheld console, even to this very day, a lot of people who disown handheld gaming has never played Sonic Rush and understood who Blaze is. But the game everyone has played and never shuts up about is Sonic 06. Sonic the Hedgehog released for the Xbox 360 in November of 2006, with the PS3 version releasing months afterward, was going to be a rebirth to the Sonic brand for the next generation. More dramatic storylines, a more realistic art style, and new characters to introduce. One of them being Silver the Hedgehog. But he couldn't just be the only character to play as, you gotta have supporting characters to give the gameplay a little twist. Sonic had Tails and Knuckles, Shadow had Rouge and Omega, so Silver needed two others to be with him, and he got all the ladies, with Amy and Blaze? You see, for me who had already been introduced to Blaze with Sonic Rush, I was full on confused as to why she was in this game when we already knew her backstory. Turns out someone at Sonic Team couldn't be bothered to make another new character to play as in Sonic 06, so let's just add Blaze into Silver's story and have her be part of his future. First off, that is lazy to just use an existing character with an already established lore and now say she is from a dystopian future who's friends with a psychic-powered hedgehog. She does retain her pyrokinesis skills, so there's that I guess. But yeah, Silver and Blaze have this friendship within this bad future, trying their best to stop Iblis and bring peace to their time. We as the player just have to accept this cause we don't see anything prior to the events of Sonic 06 that establishes this friendship. Except me, being a player who has a DS and a copy of Sonic Rush, already knows that this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But hey, let's just see where this goes. What happens in Silver's story in Sonic 06? How does it all end? Fuck? Yes, you see it right. Blaze uses her body to seal Iblis away after they both learn that's how Iblis was sealed inside of Elise. Blaze then tells Silver to send her to another dimension using Chaos Control, which Silver hesitates doing because he doesn't want to lose her. Only for Blaze to lose her physical form, float up to the sky, and explode to reveal the clear sky, thus eliminating Iblis from Silver's timeline. Now, seeing that Blaze pleaded to Silver to seal her with Iblis into another dimension and him failing to do so, me and many other players would come to the quick conclusion that Blaze made the call to sacrifice her life if Silver couldn't seal her in another dimension. Meaning that Sonic Team, who only introduced this character the year prior, just killed her off in her home console debut, completely derailing all of her possible momentum as a playable main character in future home console platform releases. What, you think I'm lying? Name me one Sonic game after Sonic 06 that has Blaze as a main playable character in a home console mainline platformer game. No, that's not Blaze, that's Sir Percival. I said this in my previous video. That's a spin-off racing game, not a mainline platformer. That's not even an independent game, you need Roblox to play it. And it's not developed directly by Sega or Sonic Team. See, you can't give me one cause there isn't one. Sega and Sonic Team killed her character with Sonic 06, thus making most players completely forget who Blaze even is and not knowing what she is capable of. Oh sure, Blaze came back the following year in Sonic Rush Adventure, but again, that was on the DS, and that was in the wake of Sonic 06, which didn't just hurt Blaze as a character within the series, but to the Sonic brand as a whole. In recent years, people like Ian Flynn have tried to do damage control for this, by writing in the Sonic Encyclopedia for the Sonic 06 story summary, Silver and Blaze return to their future where Blaze seals Iblis inside herself and is lost to another dimension. First off, this doesn't have the interaction in Silver's story ending make any sense now, cause why would Blaze ask Silver to send her to another dimension if she could do it herself? She specifically said to Silver to use his Chaos Control to send her to another dimension, cause the Chaos Emeralds have that space-time manipulation ability since Shadow was introduced back in Sonic Adventure 2, and in this game, the Emeralds were heavily used to travel between the past, present, and future. Blaze doesn't know how to use Chaos Control. Sure, she uses the emeralds to seal Iblis in her, like the Duke of Soliana did to seal Iblis in Elise, but that's not using the emerald's space-time capabilities. But if you want to argue that this was more of the emeralds turning thoughts into power, meaning Blaze thinking of doing what she wanted Silver to do, and the two emeralds she had were able to fulfill that request, then I find that to be ridiculous. Iblis is this destructive fiery god, and I would sooner think that trying to contain it within the body of someone not of royal blood, even though her soul was alit with flames, it would end up destroying them rather than lay dormant within them, like it did inside of Elise, who is royalty. Oh, and don't give me that, but she is a princess! That was established in Sonic Rush! Well, this Blaze isn't from Sonic Rush. She is from Silver's future in this game, and he never addressed her as a princess, and neither did she at any point. Plus, do you think any players of Sonic 06 back then, or even now, who are not full-on Sonic fans are going to pick up on this quote from a completely outside source of media to explain an ending that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, when in the last story, time is reset and the events of the game never happened, making Blaze's actions completely pointless! Hell, she wasn't even in the last story as a character to play as in the level End of the World, because Solaris was a dick and brought Silver from the future after Blaze made the sacrifice. She just became an expendable character in this game with a backstory that meant nothing! This is why I don't like Sonic 06. Not cause of the glitches or the relationship between Sonic and Elise, but this. This was a massive speed bump in Blaze's journey within the Sonic brand. When you ask general gamers who like some entries in the Sonic series, most will have no clue who Blaze the Cat is if you showed them art of her. Hell, I bet you some will think that she's related to Big the Cat in some way, which is infuriating. I feel if Blaze was handled better in Sonic 06 or used in a different mainline Sonic game, I think she would be just behind Shadow in overall popularity. Maybe top 5. Hopefully one day Sega and Sonic Team will give Blaze another chance as a playable character in a mainline platformer to rectify this damage and give Blaze a chance to rise from the ashes from this blunder. All we can do is wait and hope. What are your thoughts on this? Am I right or wrong? Let me know in the comments below. And continue to share your burning devotion.